Let me ask you something. Who's writing your story? Is it your past, your failures, your fears, or is it? See, too many people let life dictate their pages, flipping through chapters of regret, procrastination, and self-doubt. They let someone else, society, circumstances, even their own insecurities, write their story for them. And then they wonder why their life doesn't look like a bestseller. But today, right now, I need you to understand something. You hold the pen. You decide what happens next. And the only reason you don't have the life you want is because you haven't taken control of your own narrative. If you leave before this speech is over, you'll walk away with the same story you came in with. But if you stay, if you truly listen, you'll leave with the power to rewrite your life. Starting today, you were not born to be a background character in someone else's book. You were created to be the main character of your own epic. But here's the problem. Too many of you are waiting for permission to be great. You're waiting for the right time. You're waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to chase your dreams. But let me break it to you. Nobody's going to give you that permission. It's on you to step up and start writing your story the way it was meant to be told. You see, the most powerful people in this world aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who took their pain, their struggles, their failures, and turned them into a masterpiece. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school team. He kept writing. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. She kept writing. J.K. Rowling got rejected 12 times. She kept writing. The difference between people who make it and those who don't, they refuse to let someone else end their story before it's finished. And that's what you need to do right now. Because I know some of you sit here thinking, but I've already messed up too much. Stop that. That's a lie. Your past is only a rough draft. It's not the final version of you. If you're still breathing, the book isn't over. If you still have a dream, the book isn't over. If you still have fight left in you, the book isn't over. Listen to me. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to write the ending for you. It's on you. So grab the pen, turn the page, and start writing the greatest story ever told, your story. Now go make it happen. You are the author of your own story. Stop letting others hold the pen. Too many of you are living a life that was written by somebody else. Your parents had a vision for you. Society had expectations for you. Your friends had opinions about you. And somewhere along the way, you stopped writing your own story and started living the one they created for you. But let me ask you, when did you give them permission to hold the pen? When did you decide that their version of your life was more important than your own? Because here's the truth. As long as you let other people dictate your choices, you will never truly live. You will exist, but you won't thrive. You will survive, but you won't conquer. Every time you let fear stop you from chasing your dream, you're handing the pen over to doubt. Every time you let someone else's opinion dictate your decisions, you're giving them control over your narrative. Every time you settle for less than you deserve, you're allowing someone else to write a chapter in your book that was never meant to be there. But today that changes. Today you take the pen back. Today you stop waiting for approval and start writing the story that was meant for you. Because nobody else can tell your story the way you can. Nobody else can live your purpose the way you can. And the only way your life becomes a masterpiece is if you are the one who writes it. Your past does not define you. Your choices today do. I don't care where you came from. I don't care what mistakes you made. I don't care how many times you failed, how many people have doubted you, or how many obstacles have been in your way. That's the past. And the past is done. It's over. It has no power unless you keep giving it power. Some of you are walking around carrying the weight of things that happened years ago. You let a failure from 5 years back keep you from taking a risk today. You let a bad decision from yesterday stop you from making a great one right now. You've convinced yourself that because you've been broken, you can't be great. That because you've been lost, you can't find your way. That because you've struggled, you can't succeed. But hear me, you are not your past. You are your choices. You are your decisions. You are what you do from this moment forward. You got two options. Keep looking back and reliving the same story, or turn the page and start writing a new one. It doesn't matter where you've been, only matters where you're going. And where you're going, that's on you. Not your past, not your failures, not your regrets. So right here, right now, make the decision. Let go of the past, grab hold of your future, and step into the life that you were meant to live. Because the only thing defining you is what you do next. Fear is just a chapter, not the whole book. Turn the page. Fear has stopped more dreams than failure ever could. Some of you are standing at the edge of greatness, but you won't take the leap because fear has you paralyzed. Fear of rejection, fear of failing, fear of what people will say, fear that you're not good enough. And instead of pushing forward, you stay stuck reading the same chapter of your life over and over again. But let me tell you something. Fear is temporary. Fear is a moment. Fear is a page in your book, not the whole story. The only reason fear has so much power over you is because you keep rereading it. You keep living in that chapter instead of turning the page. Every great success story has moments of fear. Every champion, every leader, every person who has ever accomplished something great has had a moment where they were afraid. But the difference, they didn't let fear be the final chapter. They felt it, they faced it, and they pushed through it. So the question is, are you going to let fear stop you, or are you going to turn the page? Because on the other side of that fear is the breakthrough you've been waiting for. On the other side of that fear is the success you've been dreaming of. But you'll never see it if you stay stuck in this chapter. So turn the page, step into the unknown, face the fear, and do it anyway. Because your story isn't over, and fear doesn't get to write the ending. You do. Every struggle you face is an opportunity to build your masterpiece. Some of you are looking at your struggles like they're the end of your story. You're seeing your setbacks, your failures, your pain as proof that you're not meant to succeed. But let me tell you something. Your struggles are not the end. They are the foundation. They are the bricks that will build the masterpiece that is your life. Think about the greatest stories ever told. The heroes didn't have it easy. They were tested. They were challenged. They were knocked down over and over again. But what made them great wasn't that they avoided struggle. It was that they used it. They let it shape them. They let it make them stronger. Your struggles are not here to break you. They are here to build you. Every setback is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. But the problem, too many of you are running from struggle instead of embracing it. You're looking at hardship as a curse instead of the blessing that it is. Because if life was easy, you wouldn't grow. If everything came without resistance, you wouldn't develop strength. If success was handed to you, it wouldn't mean anything. So stop fighting the process. Stop seeing struggle as a sign to quit and start seeing it as proof that you're leveling up. Because every storm, every battle, every late night, every sacrifice, it's all part of your masterpiece. And when it's finished, the world is going to look at you and say, that's greatness. Excuses are edits that weaken your story. Eliminate them. Every time you make an excuse, you take a red pen and cross out a piece of your potential. Every time you say, I can't, it's too hard, I don't have time, you are rewriting your story with weakness instead of strength. And the more you do it, the more your masterpiece turns into a rough draft full of regrets. Excuses don't protect you. They rob you. They rob you of progress, of opportunities, of the life you could be living. And the worst part, they sound so good in the moment. They sound reasonable. They feel justified. But at the end of the day, excuses don't care about your dreams. They don't care about your future. They only exist to keep you exactly where you are. You've got to kill the excuses before they kill your vision. You've got to stop editing your success story into a tragedy, because every excuse you make is a moment you could have used to move forward. Every excuse is a chance wasted. So no more edits, no more justifications, no more rewriting your story with limitations. From this moment on, it's only action. It's only execution. It's only forward. Because the greatest stories ever written, they weren't full of excuses. They were full of unstoppable, relentless, excuse-proof individuals who decided that nothing was going to stop them.